Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tasha's Sewing and Fashion Center. My name is Brenda Holtz, and I'm here today to share with you Sewism number 9 of things you will not get in a sewing class. Now, you may be wondering, what is a Sewism? A Sewism is sewing wisdom. It's knowledge about sewing that you probably don't give much thought to, and you may even think that it doesn't even relate to sewing at all. But in reality, they really do. So today, I'm going to give you my Sewism, number 9, and that is facing your I hate to do techniques. Now, as long as I've been sewing, there were techniques that I did not like to do. Now, I did them because I know how to do them. But typically, it's somewhat difficult because I don't do them all the time. So what I do is I keep a little notebook with all these techniques that I find very difficult. I put them in a notebook or my sewing manual, and I notate the process on how I did that particular technique. Now, sometimes when we do, garments, it takes precision. It takes precision to make it look good, because it's going to be very, very heartbreaking if you do a garment, make it all up, and then you come with like button and buttonholes, some technique that has to go into that jacket, and then you ruin the whole garment. So that's why I am sharing with you this Sewism, because the one way to do that or to prevent things from ruining your garment is to practice. You can practice making some samples, put them in your book. Like I said, notate the process so that when you do are faced with these sewing techniques, you will have some knowledge of how to do it. Now, I suggest too that you make those samples up and you make them up in the fabric, or you test it out in the fabric that you're going to be working with, because every fabric is a little bit different. So sometimes they don't always turn out the same on every fabric. Now, I have some things that I don't like to do either. So I have a list of them that I'm going to share with you today so that you can maybe relate to some of the things that I go through too. You may have done some and you may have done none of them, but that's okay. The best way to do is to always practice. So here's my list. Zippers. I know how to do zippers, and there's many different types of zippers, and there's more than one way to do zippers. So I suggest that before you put a zipper in a garment, why don't you just make up some samples and just put them, because your zippers, if they show on the right side of the garment, then something went wrong with that zipper. And I'll show you a couple of samples, just a couple of samples. This particular one here is your flat zipper. And if you could see the color of the zipper on the right side, then that zipper did not go in properly, because this zipper is a blue zipper. It's a blue zipper. But you would never know that if you put that zipper in properly. Okay, now if you want the zipper to sew, it can be very decorative. Like this particular one, it's an exposed zipper. And if you put in like an invisible zipper, the invisible zipper shouldn't show either. So this particular zipper is beige in color, but if you put it in properly, it should not show the color of the zipper. And the same with this one. This is your lapped zipper. You see the top stitching on the top, but there's also stitching on this side of the zipper that should not show either, nor should the zipper. So you should never know what the color of that zipper is unless it's just pulling out. So if you can put in a zipper without it showing on those samples that I gave you, then you put in a good zipper. But it's always good to practice and make notations of that. Also, I don't like to do buttonholes. I said hand buttonholes or bound buttonholes, because they take a little bit more precision in putting them together. And the hand buttonholes, I always do a sample of it, because I like to put them on my tailored jackets or anything like that. I will put like a a tailored buttonhole, a hand buttonhole into that jacket rather than a buttonhole that my machine makes. Now, some machines will make keyhole buttonholes, and that is good. So you can do a keyhole buttonhole on your garment if you want a professional look. Also, sleeves sometimes, especially set-in sleeves. I can do them, but I don't like to do them because sometimes the ease is too much. I don't know if it's in the pattern or maybe I've stretched the sleeve too much, but sometimes those sleeves don't always fit into the garment. And sometimes I just take the fullness out so that it will fit the sleeve. And you can do that on your pattern, or you can cut some of the sleeve cap away so that you can get that garment in there. But yes, you do need to put the sleeves in. It shouldn't have any pleats and gathers, but it should have ease. Also, godees. The godees can be put into a cut seam or a cut piece of fabric to add fullness or flare, or you can put it into a seam. And sometimes they don't always come out real pointy at the top. So as I say, it takes a little precision and a little practice, especially if you haven't done it in quite some time. Flaps and buttonhole pockets. Now, I do have my sample here that I created. So whenever I don't do them very often, but whenever I do them, at least I can go back, reinvestigate what I did, even make notations on how I did that. That's my flap pocket. This is my buttonhole pocket here. And this one here is just a welt pocket. That's just a little welt pocket. So I have all three of them on one sample because if I'm doing any tailoring, then most of these techniques are used in those tailoring garments like a jacket. And I think lapels, I think I mentioned lapels, but those are some of the techniques that I have struggled with in the past, depending on the fabric itself. That's why it's always, always good to make a sample first, because you don't want to put a lot of work into a garment and then do those techniques and ruin the whole thing. And I have done that, but you get good at what you do by practice. So that is all I have for you today. I will see you in the next video, and I will share with you another Sewism number 10. Bye for now.